Hello and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. I can't even tell you what day this is posting, so I'm sorry guys. The work week gets busy sometimes and I don't always film on schedule. I always try to post these on Saturday morning, and this weekend it's not happening. So I do apologize. I appreciate your patience. I promise you you will have the weekly energy card reading posted before the week begins officially on Monday. But it is a little bit late this week, so I'm going to try to be better moving forward. But again, I'm probably going to be wrapping up the card readings by the end of this year, so if you do, please be patient with me as I try to get them out in a timely fashion. So as you can see, since tomorrow is Oh Hallows Eve, we're going to go ahead and do the Halloween tablecloth, and these are so cute. I really love this. I actually have like 3 tablecloths that I could use for Halloween, but I love it. It's little owls and cats and pumpkins, pumpkin, and this is like just awesome. But and you can see I'm actually kind of dressed up too. I've been really into a theme of long sleeve shirts with t-shirts over it. It's just like I'm just cold and I like wearing my t-shirts year round. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. To make up for the video being a little bit late, I have a special kind of treat for you, also because it's kind of a hybrid of the Halloween special reading, and we'll get to the goodies on that in a minute. It's interesting that we have several animals in the mix here on the tablecloth, because I wanted to share a quick story. I've been watching a lot of videos. I watch a lot of other readers here on YouTube, and it was so interesting. I was listening. I just, like a podcast, I just listen to it in the car, or I'll put it on my TV and just, while I'm doing errands or scrapbooking or just, getting in the zone with other things, I'll just listen to the readings, excuse me, hiccup, on the TV. And there was one reader who was like, your spirit guides are really speaking to you through animals and through nature. And that I really kind of resonate with, just because I really do commune with nature a lot. Like getting outside, going on walks, all of that really, really soothes me. And it was funny, a few nights ago, it was late in the day, like it was pretty late at night. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock, not a time that I would normally go outside of my house. But I decided to go out, and I had a few things that I needed to add to the recycling bin. Like the recycling bin was out on the curb, and I had a few, things that I didn't want to just have sitting until the following week. So I was like, okay, let me go throw this in the bin while it's out there. And when I went out, I was really drawn to do it. Like something was like, yeah, go outside, go outside. I was like, okay, let me go throw this in the bin. And it was so funny. I was walking out to my car to put something in my car, and I saw something dart by, and I thought it was a cat. And I even heard what sounded like a cat. But I live near kind of a road, and the animal, it was definitely an animal. The animal darted across the road, and there's a street light right there. And it was interesting. When I saw it, I thought it looked like it had kind of a fluffier tail. It didn't look like a cat's tail. And it was amazing when the animal got to the other side of the road, it stopped right underneath the street light. So it was like this, it was just under the light, and it turned, and it was a fox. And it was a really bright red one too. It looked like a young fox, and they how they kind of turn and they just have really piercing eyes, and he just kind of stared at me. We made eye contact for like a good 30 seconds, and then he turned and bolted into the woods. And I was just like, oh my goodness. I was like, that threw me, because it's like, it's funny, I have quite a few spirit animals. I feel like, when I'm feeling low self-confidence, I see squirrels, and there's a story behind that. I'll share that on another time. But and then I love dragonflies, and and I love horses. But I've never really resonated with a fox before, but I was just like, oh my gosh, that was a total sign. So that was my sign of the week. I don't know if anybody needed to hear that, but there was something to be said. And I know, in card reading and in interpretation, foxes are very self-sufficient. They're very self-reliant. They look after number one. They can be a little cunning, sometimes a little sly, But this one just looked like, you know, I'm telling you, I will never forget that look on it, on that fox's face. But I wanted to go ahead and share that. I'm not sure if that meant something to someone. But all right, guys, so we have 3 decks as usual. The first deck is the Transparent Tarot by Emily Carding. And on top of it, we have a beautiful 3-point crystal quartz. The second deck we have is the Tattoo Tarot Inked in Intuition. And on top of it, we have a beautiful volcanic red quartz. Yeah, it's a red quartz. And then the last deck is one of my most beloved decks. This is my Morgan Greer Tarot, and on top of it we have a beautiful piece of sea glass. And since the reading is posting a little bit late, not terribly late, but late, I thought, you know, in the past, if you look at the playlist on my channel, in the past I've done readings that were called the what was it? It was called Who's Haunting You? Who's Haunting You? And that doesn't have to be anyone who's actually crossed over. It can be someone who is alive and well that's just on your mind. It could be someone who's thinking of you, or you're thinking of them, or for some reason you just can't get them out of their head. And since this reading is from October 30th to November 6th, and again, anytime, it's a universal reading. If you come across it at any time, the messages can still resonate. But since if you're watching this at the time it posts, it will likely be the Halloween. I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 2 of these cards, which is called the Who Are They deck by Rising Sun Oracle. And then we have another really fun deck here that's called What's the Tea deck by Starry Eyed Tarot 777. These are both Etsy decks, but what's really cute is like, you know, it's funny. I have other decks that give descriptions, but this deck is really amazing. It gives behaviors, characteristics, appearance. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull like 2 cards from this deck, and this is both of these decks are brand new for me. I'll pull 2 from this deck, and then I'll pull 1 from the tea deck, and we'll kind of get a bead on what's going on. Okay, we'll get some tea on who's haunting you. Now, what I will do is I'll go ahead and I'll put separate timestamps. So if you want to just know who's haunting you without the official tarot part, what I'll say is this. For the tarot reading, what we do normally, week after week, what we do normally is you choose a deck, you pick on, pick a deck, you pick on that, choose that hyperlink at the bottom, and it'll give you 10 seconds, and you can pause the video to choose. If you go ahead and choose a crystal, and then in the description box, just click on the link that says Who's Haunting You, deck 1, Who's Haunting You, deck 2. Go ahead, if you want to jump straight to that part without going through the whole reading, I'll timestamp it so you have it where you don't have to. And that'll just be your extra treat for the holiday weekend. So, all right, but as usual, please choose from your intuition. If you need more time, please pause the video, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move these other decks up. So again, as always, guys, I love doing these readings, but sometimes it is a lot of work. No joke. But, here, one thing I am going to do is I am going to go ahead and put this down. The Transparent Tarot is a beautiful deck, but what it is that it is transparent. It's see-through. And the beautiful thing about it is when it's see-through, you can layer up the cards. But it's a lot easier for you to see when we have this backdrop. So we'll go ahead and do that. So pile number 1, beginning of your week. What is the energy for the beginning of pile number 1's week? Ooh, we got the Empress. Okay, and then middle of the week, please. Okay. End of the week, please. Oh, that one flipped. Okay, can I get one clarifier for the page once? One clarifier for the page once, please. Okay. Oh, we got the King of Swords. Okay. Well, that's interesting, guys. I'm getting a lot from that. All right. Ooh, did I turn this upside down? Oh, I don't know how these two cards got turned upside down. That's interesting. That's another king and another page. I don't know. I feel like that kind of resonates a little bit. You know what? That's almost kind of clarifying it a little bit. I'll touch back on that when we get to that part of the reading. Oh gosh. All right. So let's go ahead and see pile 1. Who's haunting you? Let's get 2 cards. Okay. Can we get pile number 1? Who's haunting you? Ooh, those came out right away. We're going to turn them over and we'll get to those. And what's the sitch? So what's the situation with this person? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take both of them because they were both kind of popping out. I was gonna just take one. All right, guys, so pile number 1. This is really quite beautiful. Oh, sorry, keep your stone there. Such a pretty stone you guys have. So beginning of the week, you got the Empress, and if you can see this, you got the Empress. Here, let me do this. We're gonna have to hold up the thing. It's a lot easier to see when you have the cloth up. But okay, so what you have is you see you have the Empress, which looks like a field with flowers. And again, on top of it, we have the 8 of Wands, and you see how beautiful that is, like layers up, right? So what I'm really seeing here is I'm getting a very strong nurturing vibe. I'm getting a strong motherly vibe. If you are a mom, there might be some kind of project that you might have something to do, something happening with your children is really gotten the green light. Sometimes I see this, we're so far into the year. If you're watching this at the time the video posts, we're too far into this year for this to be a school thing. But if you're watching this at another time and another, not at the time it posts, this could be something like related to school or some kind of creative project, something that you want for your children that's really getting the green light. Like maybe you were, you were waiting for news to see if they got accepted to some kind of school program, or you were waiting, maybe you were on the wait list for summer camp or something like that, and then all of a sudden you get the news, yes, this is moving forward, yes, this is good to go. So there might be some kind of news that you're getting towards the beginning of the week, and it might be over the weekend into the Monday, Tuesday-ish zone, where you finally get notification that something's happening, like it's all systems go. Now, if you're not a mom, and this does not pertain to children, one other way I can kind of read this is if you are a mom of one very active child, or if you have more than one child, you might have a lot of irons in the fire. This I can kind of see like being like, maybe if you have more than one child and one person has soccer practice or one person has football practice, and then another one has a big test that's coming up, and maybe someone forgot their tuba, and hey mom, can you come bring me my instrument? Or I forgot my lunch. You just got a lot of irons in the fire regarding it. Now, this can be work related as well. If you're kind of a nurturing force, if you're kind of the mom at work, you could have. I do sometimes see this as the real nurturing force. Like maybe you have a team. And not to say that you mother anyone. I know work is a very professional environment, so it's not like you coddle anyone. But I've seen this. It's funny. I sometimes see the Empress sometimes in the form of like a personal assistant. Where she is kind of like that sweet, flexible, kind, if she has a million things being thrown at her, like, hey, we need to schedule this luncheon. Hey, did we get the appetizers for this? And it's kind of motherly in the sense like, oh, okay, I have to make sure we have the food. Did we schedule the meeting room for this event? I might have to drive here and pick up that. And it's almost like you have to be the sweet, emotional, understanding, flexible one with all this activity going on. So that's entirely possible. But the other thing is, I get if you have more than one child, your family life in general could be very busy. And this can also be for family members as well. Like if you care for an elderly parent, or if you care for a sibling or something like that, you might be doing a lot, but you're in a nurturing sense. Now, one other way I can kind of read this is that the Empress is very much an earth mother, and the fact that you see mountains and flowers here, there could be something that you're doing that's growing, like something that you're, like some kind of project that you're nurturing. This can mean something that's nature related. Like maybe if you're a good gardener, or if you're a good, also if you're a nurturer and kind of maybe if you teach lessons related to nature, or something like that, you might have kind of a busy beginning of the week. The other thing is that also if you work in nature, or if you are looking to have some kind of project related to nature, also and related to nurturing people. Sometimes I do see the Empress as being like a caregiver, like a possibly a daycare provider. It just seems like the beginning of next week is going to be really busy. Again, a lot of irons in the fire. It feels like a lot of things are moving forward. And the other thing I get is that I feel like you're really, I feel like you're accommodating the actions of other people. Like other people are telling you what they need to do, and you're helping them. Like you're nurturing them. You're helping them achieve what they need to do. And it does. You see, like this person, like this. You see this person looks like they're climbing up the these flying rods, or flying across the side. I'm hearing it to infinity and beyond is what I'm kind of seeing there, and you know what I'm hearing, you're helping people get things off the ground. Now, by the middle of the week, this is so interesting, it really does play into it. You got the Four of Swords, which really talks about taking a mental rest. It could be that maybe as you help everyone else get their plans off the ground, by the middle of the week, maybe you do need to unplug a little bit. This is also the universe's way of saying that there's no action that you need to take right now, that you really do need to take a mental break. The other thing I get is that sometimes, it's wonderful to nurture and help other people, but you do need to recharge. The Four of Swords is very much an R&R card. I do also get that if your form of regeneration is doing something creative, which is very Empress oriented. Now, just one other way that I can read this, just to throw it out there, is that your mom in the beginning of the week, or if you're a male watching this, and assign the genders as they resonate, it's just energy, but if you have a partner, a spouse, so a partner who is more feminine type, that could be a wife, it can be a mother, it really looks like more like someone who's the mother of your children. This person might be very busy in the beginning of the week, and you're helping them. Like, again, maybe your wife is doing, redecorating the kitchen or something like that, and she's just going, and you're helping her. But by the middle of the week, it's almost telling you that you need to check out from that. Or this could be your mom, like literally your mom. Your mom's calling like, hey, honey, I'm going to go do this, da, 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 And it's funny, I was just talking about this the other week. My mom is the sweetest thing in the world, but man, when she gets excited about something, she has a Venus in Leo. The moment that she decides to go do something, it's just like full speed ahead, and it's like you just kind of have to get out of the way. But by the middle of the week, it is telling you to relax. So if this is your go, go, go energy, it's telling you to check out. If you've been helping other people who have been, kind of Energizer bunnying it, it might be telling you that go ahead and let them handle their own business for a little while, because in the middle of the week you might want to sleep a little bit more. You might want to do those activities that help you check out, like if you do art, if you do whatever it is that lets you recoup. But here I am almost seeing like sleep or meditation or something that gets you need to let your mind rest. That's the other thing, is that if you've been going, it's real important that you don't overthink anything. The other really big takeaway with the Four of Swords is that it's okay to step away from this activity. It'll be there when you get back. You're not missing anything. You're not letting anybody down if you need a break. So that's a big message there. Now, by the end of the week, this is really interesting. And again, it was interesting. these two cards is the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And here we have the King of Swords and the Page of Rods. So I am getting a really strong beginning of the week. There's a real mother feel, and by the end of the week there's a real father feel. But what it is that the father here is the King of Swords, and the child here is a child of fire, of wands. And air and fire is compatible. They almost fuel each other. So it is quite possible that if you're a father, if you're a mom that's been real busy, it's possible, especially with these two being swords, maybe you tag out a little bit and the child's parent kind of takes over. Maybe you have a little one that's just going, because I am seeing wands here, the Eight of Wands, all that activity, and then a wands child. And definitely fire children can be very busy. they're very energetic, and especially if they have a lot of fire in their chart. Now, the wonderful thing about the King of Swords is that they're very intellectual. All of that physical activity that the little one needs to burn. The King of Swords, he's so smart. It's almost like he would know the lesson plan, or even if he's not a teacher, he would be like, hey, okay, it looks like we need to get the wiggles out here, child. Let me go ahead and let's and he knows what to do. He knows exactly how, what to do to help this child kind of, burn off their energy. But the other thing is they know how to, this combination is very nurturing in the fact that, and I just love the way these layer. I'm really drawn to the way you see that gradient, like in the cloak. It's like, it almost looks like a wave, like, he's directing this child how to channel their energy in a productive way. So instead of just, running, doing backflips off the couch, this person is like, okay, okay, you're running around and pretending to be a dinosaur. Let's learn about dinosaurs. Let's put this into, it's like, I think someone is taking over and spending time with a fire child. So if this is your child, you might be getting a break by someone who is a very air-signed person. This could be your father, or it could be the child's father. One other way, is I just see that this new, like, really excited energy is getting kind of a channel with all of this mental structure. Because the King of Swords in the upright, he's very contemplative. He has a plan always. His mind always is on target. Now, if this is just your energy, so if you have a child, you might be tagging off and saying, okay, let Grandpa come over, and Grandpa like does crosswords and he watches Jeopardy, and he's like, okay, I know the best way to help this person, get all the wiggles out. Either that, or this could be your spouse, or you can say, honey, I just need a break. Can you take over for me? And they go, and they might go to a museum. They might go out and do something, because I also see this is like the future. But the West, it was so interesting. It was just so wild that we nearly got another king and page. Those two were of the same suit, though, which was pentacles. But here I just see, if this is just your energy and doesn't pertain to a child at all, it's almost like you have a new idea, and that's really exciting you, but it's still very new. It's still very fledgling. Like it's not a fully formed idea, and it's almost like you're in your head, you're thinking of all the ways that you can, all the ways that this new energy can be used. And that's what's moving you forward. And, so if this is some kind of new creative project, that can be you. It's like it starts off like a springboard, and then you get a little bit of a break, and now you're really guiding that energy forward. But it is still very new. It's still very new. But and the other thing is that the King of Swords, if you want more information about this combination, I would highly suggest checking out the How to Tarot here on my channel for the King of Swords. He's very cerebral. very cerebral, very in his mind. He knows how to work it. And so if this is like an exciting new idea or something that you're just learning about, it's almost like you're framing out all the again lesson plans in your mind on how you can use this energy to learn new things or to get where you want to go. But the only caution I get with this is that sometimes the King of Swords can be a little too up in his head. So don't, new energy pages and aces are so beautiful because it's such a fresh energy. Over planning it is almost like putting that energy in a box. It almost does it a disservice. So one other thing I could caution with this, and even if this is like a parent and a child, one thing that you also might want to look out for is that, yes, it's great to structure that energy, but also let that energy be free too. Don't leave it open-ended. That's all I can say. I'm hearing that. Leave it open-ended. Don't over-structure this new energy. Let it have expression on its own. Also, if you see a parent that's kind of doing that, that's the other thing, is that the King of Swords is not a bad guy. He's scarier when he's in the reverse. In the upright, it's and again, air and fire is compatible. They fuel each other. It's great. But don't overstructure the little one. Let them have a wild imagination. That's the most beautiful thing about that energy. And if this is an idea or something new for yourself, let it have free reign. Don't try to bog it down with too much mental. All right, guys, so we'll go ahead and we'll see who is haunting you. So what we've got, oh my God, we've definitely got a man. It looked like a man. Can I just point out that this King of Swords has a beard? And he might be kind of balding, but here I see there is a male with a beard. So you're definitely dealing with someone, and I feel like this is kind of like a heavy beard. I do feel like, what I'm almost getting is that this is, it's kind of long. Maybe this person kind of has it kind of long with that little point, because that's what I'm kind of seeing. It's not short, it's not like cropped, but it's not long either. You might not be as Grizzly Adams as this, but this person has a mustache and a beard. And I feel like the beard is slightly on the longer side and might have a little point to it. And then what I'm seeing here is you've got the two that wanted to come out was twin sister, copying someone for their work, ideas, how to dress, how to act, how to talk. Willing to do anything for the approval of the opposite sex. All right, guys, now this might not be for everyone. And again, as always, if the message doesn't resonate, you do not need to take it. It might be a message for someone else. So if it's not resonating, leave it by the wayside. But what I'm kind of seeing here is it is possible if this involves a child and it's your child with someone else. You could be divorced, you could be separated. Maybe you're dating someone. You know what I'm almost getting? I'm almost getting like the new person that you're dating might have a beard and they really want to impress you and they want to get along well with your child. So maybe they do some kind of play date. They go out and they're like, oh, okay, I see you're tired. Why don't you let us go out for the day? I'll take them out. I'll take them to the aquarium. I'll take them to the zoo. And what it is that, they're like, pick me. They want you to, and what I get with twin sister is what that is that's kind of copying someone. Like for instance, if you're and just to throw it out there, if in a woman's sense, how when you say, for instance, that someone you're interested in is still hung up on their ex, and their ex had blonde hair, or their ex always did their nails or something like that, and then all of a sudden you go blonde and you start painting your nails and you're like, hey, you're almost mimicking something that you think this person would like. So it's possible that you might feel like someone in your life is trying to copy. This person is trying to copy someone. It could be that they're trying to mimic kind of fatherly traits. Maybe they're trying to be like this child's father. The other thing that I kind of get here is that I definitely get the sense, most definitely, that's amazing to me. We've got 3 cards about a beard. I think you're dealing with with a masculine here, a masculine with a point to their beard. And they really want you to pick them. They're like, okay, they want to impress you. And I almost get the sense like this person is trying to be what you want them to be, and they might be copying someone, you know, they're copying some other masculine because they want to be what you want them to be. Does that make sense? You know, like, again, you know, pick me, and let me be a carbon copy of, you know, of everything that you want. The other thing is with the King of Swords, he is very psychological like that. I'd be a little cautious with that energy. Again, the King in the upright is not too scary. If he were in reverse, I'd be more concerned. So I'm not getting like a negative energy, but I would still be cautious because you always want to be yourself in a relationship, right? The only other thing that I can think of is that if this is this is who's haunting you. This is who's haunting you. Just one other thing that I'm kind of getting from this is that it's possible that maybe if you did have a child with someone else and you're dating someone new who has a beard, who's really good with your child, your ex or the child's father might be trying to grow a beard. You know, that's what I'm almost getting. This person might be trying to grow a beard, like, okay, you know, I can be like that. You like beards? Okay. I'll grow one. You know, just give me a few months. I can, you know, no shave November. we're coming up on that. You know, the only other thing that I can kind of get from this is that maybe you might be getting a little like up in your head because you can be in the King of Swords energy and be a woman. The other thing I kind of get is that maybe you're kind of worrying yourself because the Page of Wands can be impulsive energy. It can be almost like inner child kind of energy. Maybe you did come out of if this doesn't involve children at all, it's quite possible that maybe you got out of a relationship and you're looking at this new guy who's really mentally bright, really good to talk to, but this person might seem he might seem a little bit too similar to, you know how sometimes you go for the same characteristics in a person. So the reason why this might be haunting you is like, again, maybe your ex had a beard and all of a sudden you're really attracted to this new guy who has a beard. The other thing I kind of get from that is, not to sound funny, guys, but it's kind of a true thing. And again, you know, if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. But you know how sometimes if we really had our heart broken by someone, sometimes we end up, and I don't even think we do it consciously, which is another real King of Swords thing. Sometimes it's so subconscious. We end up dating someone who looks exactly like the person who broke our heart just because we want to be like, pick me, you know, like you're dating almost a carbon copy. It looks exactly like the other person. And you're like, okay, what did I do wrong? I don't know what I did wrong with the old person, but you look exactly like the old person. Let me get it right, you know? And there's something about beards here. So, but the only other thing that I can get is that I am almost getting that there's a man who really wants to be what you want. And it's like they're maybe growing a beard or trying to look like. The other thing that I kind of get is that they're probably just trying to watch you to see what you like. I do almost get a sense like they're kind of, you know, because the King of Swords is really like, let me get in your head. Let me figure out what it is that makes you tick, right? And, but wow, guys, oh gosh, that's wild. That was really on par. That beard really got me. And you saw that the two T cards really came out together. I'm glad we went with both. All right, so that's deck number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to deck number 2, and we'll move our cloth out of the way because all the other cards are very visible. But that is a beautiful deck. When you have like just a white, you can just throw down the white drop, you know, cloth, and or even on a regular table you can see it pretty clearly. It's just with the busy background. All right, so deck number 2, what's our energy for the week? Okay, beginning of the week, deck number 2. Ooh, oh, what a nice way to begin the week. Middle of the week, please. Okay, we're going to take both. Oh my gosh. End of the week. Okay, please clarify the Four of Cups. One card to clarify Four of Cups, please. Okay, I'll go at the top. Ooh. Okay, and then the one card to clarify the Lovers. Thank you. Okay, I'm compelled to bring both of them. Alright, let's go ahead and get your cards for what is haunting you. Oh, okay, we have two. And let's get your T cards. Oh, I keep doing that. Oh, crappy yoga. Hold on one second. Pile two. Oh, I hope I didn't crack my stone. Nope, it's fine. It knows I love it. But did one flip? One flipped. Oh, ah. All right, fine. Fine, fine. I will take you. Since you made me crawl on the floor. All right. And look at this. We got two cards. You see this, right? Right? All right. All right. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, well, now the first two decks have gotten two cards from the T decks, so we're gonna, and honestly, these cards speak to me. I got 3 decks. I was bad. I was so bad. I went on Etsy, you know, I was, you know, Mystic Moon here on YouTube. I was watching one of her, it's so funny what I keep wanting to call it Insta Talks. Well, it was on both TikTok and Instagram, so it was an Insta Talk. But it was this little quick video, and she had a deck from Rising Sun Oracle, and her decks are so good. So I got 2 decks from her, and it had been a while since I had bought cards, and you know, hey, cheaper than therapy, cheaper than therapy. All right, guys. So wow, just wow. Okay, this is a really beautiful, you know, this is a beautiful read here. So what I'm kind of getting, beginning of the week, you're going to feel really lovey-dovey. And you got the Lovers, and underneath it, you got the freaking 10 of Cups with the Queen of Swords. So, you know, you remember those old Burger King commercials where it said, I got it my way, I had it my way? You're having it your way. When I see the Queen of Swords, like, she, you know, she gets a kind of a bad rap of being kind of picky, or being kind of like, you know, the verbal, she gets a rap of being the verbal henpecker, you know. But what I'm getting here is, I do not get a henpecking energy. I just get the sense like, if you ask for it, you get it. And I do get a love vibe from this. I do get a sense like you're either enjoying a lot of cuddle time, you are feeling on top of the world, you feel like, the other thing I get is you feel like everything is at peace. The other thing that I love about this energy is that I do think that you've known heartbreak in the past, but with this relationship, or whatever this current, you know, love feeling is right now, if you ask for something, like, you know what I get from this combination? You know how maybe you've had some heartbreak in your past, like you've really been raked over the coals before, and then you finally meet someone. And you know what? I bet you any amount of money, when you met this new person, you really didn't give them the time of day. Like, you were like, nope. Because that's the way it goes. The moment, you know how what's that saying? The watched kettle never boils. The watched pot never boils. Like, the moment that you're standing there watching water, waiting for it to boil, it never boils. It's the same thing with relationships. And especially when you've been raked over the coals a few times, the moment you've had your heart broken a few times, all of a sudden it's like, you know, you're like, I am done. The next man who tries to come up to me is not getting the time of day from me. But this person, whoever it is that actually got you to open up, this person approached you, asked you out. The other thing I kind of get is that you probably made this person work for it a little bit, which is not a bad thing. You know, you went out on the first date, okay, maybe I'll call you, maybe I won't. Went out on the second date, went out on the third date, and then by the fourth or fifth date, you're like, okay, yeah, I like you. But it's one of those things where this person respects your boundaries. This person knows you've been hurt before. They know what you've been through before. And it isn't that this person's a doormat. This person's not a doormat. I do get the sense this person will push back if you come across as too harsh, or if you start railing on them. But what I get is this person's very respectful. When you get in kind of a pissy mood, or if you start putting boundaries up, they know the reason why those boundaries are there. And what I almost get is that. I remember a long time ago, I hate roller coasters. I remember one time, and it was no fault of my dad. My dad was a little bit of a brusque personality. He was military. And I remember one time my dad kind of tricked me into getting on a roller coaster, and I hate roller coasters. And it really kind of traumatized me a little bit. He never tricked me on another one after that because I got really upset. You know, he never did it again. But I never kind of got over that. And I remember one time, my first boyfriend, he really gave me he gave me the guilt trip anytime. He'd be like, oh, you're such a chicken. I'm like, you know what? Back then I didn't flip him the bird. I totally should have. But, in hindsight, he made me feel guilty for having a phobia or having a fear. He also was like, well, you just need to get over that. And I'm like, that relationship did not last. But later on, I'm not unwilling to get on a roller coaster. I still don't like them though. And it's so funny. This is the energy that I get. This would be like the boyfriend who'd be like, do you want to go? And you're like, no, I'm really not comfortable with that. Okay. No, that's cool. That is completely fine. They recognize your boundaries. They don't cross them. You're not henpecking them. They know that you've been hurt before. And it's just this really respectful love. It's a respectful love. One other way that I can kind of see this is just to throw it out there. This could be someone coming back. We got the death card. Yeah. This could be something 7 of Cups. That's kind of like a choosing card. 9 of Coins. Yeah, I mean, this could be a rekindled romance. But this person is coming back on your terms. If you broke up before and there was a reason for it, the other thing that I kind of get from that is that you cut through the fog of things. Like you in this relationship, you do not have to like me with that first boyfriend going, oh well, I really don't like it, and him pushing. You don't put up with that shit. And it's not you being a hard ass, but it's you just saying, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. I hope you understand. And they're like, yeah, okay, that's no problem. If you're not comfortable, I'm not going to push you to do anything you don't want to do. So if this is someone coming back, it does feel like the 10 of Cups moment. It feels like the love, like the grand gesture, but it feels like a transformation. But the other thing I get is that if this is someone coming back, they're not pulling the same crap that they did before. So you're feeling really lovey-dovey, and again, I love this combination. And goodness knows, the Queen of Swords has kissed a lot of frogs, and she deserves happiness. So to see this combination, the other thing is that the Queen of Swords can be a little frosty sometimes, but she has a big heart. She has such a big heart. If you earn her trust, if you earn her respect, and she shows you that heart. Oh, you are a lucky person. Your person's a lucky person, pile 2. They really are. Now, by the middle of the week, you got another major arcana. This is so gorgeous. You got the High Priestess. And underneath it, you got the Ace of Coins. What I'm seeing here, and the Ace of Coins is surrounded by a peacock, and a peacock usually is a bird and a rose. So the rose kind of points to the love. You know what? I think you're almost kind of keeping this love under wraps. I'm kind of sensing like maybe this relationship is starting to talk about going somewhere. It might not be huge. It might not be like, hey, let's move in together yet. But the Ace of Coins or Pentacles is that firm foundation where you feel like this is actually something that you can build upon. And in relationships, that's such a gorgeous thing. It's a real thing. There's a label. You know how they're always like, well, I don't need no labels. This person's ready to be like, hey, I'm your boyfriend. You're my girlfriend. They're ready to make it real. And that it's exciting you. It's like, oh my God, this is actually happening. We're planting the seed. But what I'm seeing here is with the high priestess, you're keeping it quiet. You're not shouting it from the mountaintops like the peacock. You know how the peacock shows its feathers, it kind of fans out. It's like, hey, look, you are not, you're holding off on changing any of your social statuses. Like you're not changing that Facebook to being in a relationship yet. But this kind of feels like that too. Maybe someone made a declaration of love, and it's almost like, okay, you have the green light. You could go and say, click that link to say yes, in a relationship. But it's almost like you're not ready to do that yet. But I do get the sense like you're really excited though. Like this feels good. This feels like, oh my God, this is actually the cornerstone. It's the seed that we can plant to grow something, to actually make this real. But what it is, the other thing I get is that you feel so proud, you feel so excited inside. Like it's almost like you're doing the little strut privately, but you're not letting the world see that yet. One other thing I kind of get with this is that maybe people close to you can almost kind of pick up that something's changing, but you're keeping a poker face because the high priestess, she knows what's going on beneath the surface. And the other thing is that I do also get the sense like you know that this is the real deal Holyfield. You know how sometimes when you get into a relationship, you might in your gut, in your jellies, you might kind of sense like that something might not, okay, maybe I shouldn't post about this on social media yet. This doesn't seem, something in your gut says, okay, this isn't right. I don't think that that's happening here. I think it's right. It feels like a great start. And I think this is it. This is it, but you are keeping it private. In private, you're strutting. In private, you're having these lovey moments. In private, you're feeling really good. Now, one other way I can see this is it's quite possible maybe you just have a romantic weekend, you have a connection over the weekend, and then one other way I can kind of see that is that there's a lot of great relationship coaches. There's actually one here on YouTube, Chris Seiter. And Chris Seiter gives really wonderful advice, but one of his best things that he ever said, and this is totally his premise, is the Holy Trinity is what he calls it, which is health, wealth, and relationships. And and what it is that it's kind of interconnected. When you start feeling really happy in your home life, that makes you feel good inside, and then you take that positive energy, you take that good attitude to work, and then you start performing better at work, and that starts giving you more money. And then, so it's kind of like this positive circle, your relationships feed into your good energy, your health, and maybe you start exercising more, maybe you start eating better, you just feel good. And then it starts impacting your wealth because your health is improving, your relationships are good, and it just gives you this glow that helps you improve in all areas of your life. And that's what I kind of get here, is I get the sense that if it's not moving forward with this relationship, maybe you're kind of glowing. The other thing is the high priestess is the it girl. Like she, if you get a chance, you could watch the How to Tarot and the High Priestess. It talks about that. It's like she's the it girl because she's so mysterious. There's something going on below the surface. It's almost like she knows. She's self-contained and she's happy, and she knows what makes her happy, and it's almost like she's got this seed inside of her of happiness. So you might be bringing it to work and people are like, oh gosh, she's so quiet, but she just seems happy. I wonder what's changed. And what's changed, but no one else does. But it is the seed of something tangible, something real. And I do get with that peacock, it's like on the inside you're really strutting, but you haven't made it to the outside yet. Now, one thing that I'm seeing here is by the end of the week, you've got the 4 of Cups, you've got the 5 of Coins, and then you've got the 9 of Cups. And the 9 of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. So one thing that I can kind of see here is that I can kind of read this one of a few ways, but what I'm really getting is I do think that you're happy, like this is what you want. What's been happening to you has been really good, but it's have you ever had that feeling like, wow, I'm getting everything that I want, but I don't have a whole lot of money right now, and it's really preoccupying your thoughts. By the end of the week, you might, I am getting kind of a financial vibe from this, where this person, you might be in a relationship, but you might feel like you can't bring as much. Money's gonna be kind of a focus by the end of the week. And it's like a wish fulfillment, but it's almost like, it's almost like something is being handed to you that that is what you want. It's again more of this happiness, but you almost feel like you can't accept it because you're so preoccupied with not having enough money. So I don't know if by the end of the week it might feel like like in between paydays. One way that I can kind of read this, especially with the emotional, have you ever had it where somebody calls you, and this can be non-romance related. This could be your best friend calls you up and says, "Hey, that concert that you want to go to? It's right down the road. It's this weekend. I can get tickets. Do you want to go?" And then you're like, "Oh my God, I don't even want to know how much this is going to cost. I just spent, it's 4 days before payday, and I just spent my last $5 on lunch." And they're like, "Oh yeah, the tickets are just $250. And you're like, "Oh my God." That's what this kind of feels like. It's like a wish come true. It'd be like, "Oh my God, that would be great to go do this." But you can't accept the offer because you're too busy worried about like not having enough money. The other thing I kind of get is feeling like you might not feel like you're good enough. And please, that's surprising because coming from the Queen of Swords energy and the High Priestess energy, you're you're killing it all week long. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Now, this can be your partner, just to throw it out there. Maybe because I am kind of seeing like I'm seeing like you offering a chance to go out or to have more of that joy, like, okay, let's go out and let's go out to dinner, let's go do this. But you might get like a lethargic response from your lover, like, "Oh no, I can't do it." And they seem a little distracted. And under the surface, it's because they probably don't have enough money to take you out for dinner. And they might be feeling like they're not good enough because they can't do that for you. So that's possible. This might be the other person. But if it's your energy, it just might be, and that's nothing to worry about. It's funny, with my bills, one payday you have more money, and the other payday it's like, okay, that's when the mortgage is due, that's when the cable bill is due. You're a little bit more strapped on that pay period. So I don't get the sense, these are minors, so I don't think that this is like a perpetual thing. But I am getting a strong feeling like you get invited out, but you can't go. Four of Swords, yeah, yeah. I think it's like you're gonna have to stay at home and just kind of chill. The other thing that I kind of get is that this, just to throw it out there, you might feel there might be something that's making you feel like you're not good enough for this relationship. Maybe it could be because you come from a different economic background from this person. This person might have more money than you. And the other thing I kind of get is maybe this person's definition of entertainment is a lot more top shelf than yours. Like going out to a movie and spending, $30 versus going out to like a 4-star restaurant and spending $125 on dinner. It might be something like that. Where you feel like this person makes you really happy, but then something about that, you feel like you have to turn down dates or shy away from something because of money. And you're definitely going to be feeling this. There's going to be some kind of situation with that by the end of the week. Yeah, that's interesting. But it's so amazing. Your energy's so strong moving into this. I really hope nothing makes you feel lesser than, because and this is that spiritually you are the bomb. The other thing is that the high priestess is not the high priestess values spirituality above wealth. Like she values having a strong soul over having material things. She doesn't live in a grass hut. She's good. She takes care of herself, but she doesn't keep up with the Joneses, right? So and here with the Nine of Cups, you know, the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith can be that kind of that smug guy who's sitting in front of a, you know. Now, just one of the last way I can kind of read it is this might be like going out for drinks, going out for a lot of drinks, um, you know, or yeah, this is kind of one person. I am getting more of a sense of like someone inviting you out, but it being a bad time financially, and it's making you feel a little less than. It's kind of putting you up in your head where you kind of think, oh gosh, well I have to turn this down. I really want to. I want to take that cup, but I have to be practical. I can't, and it makes you feel. It makes you feel poor. It makes you feel poor. Now, who's haunting you? Pile two. This one was the one that flipped, and this says piercings. So maybe it's someone who has a piercing. Now, this image is pretty intense. They've got a tongue ring, they got a nose ring. This could be something as simple as someone having a bar on their ear. Maybe they have, I mean, as 2000s as it was, it could be a tummy piercing. Those are still around. Could be a tongue ring. But yeah, you know what I'm almost getting is I'm getting someone who has a noticeable, like a defining piercing. And I remember, you know, it's funny. Our bus driver growing up, she had 10 hoops all down her ears, so she had 10 piercings in each ear, and that's, you know, so some kind of defining, some kind of piercing that catches attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a bull ring or anything. Now the other thing is older than you. Okay, so this is someone who's older than you and has a big smile, you know. So what? Anytime I see a big smile, I also think of someone who has like a pretty smile, like their face lights up when they smile. But yeah, I mean, again, the piercings don't even have to be anything really crazy. It's just something that you notice, right? Maybe you have two piercings in one ear, and it just, you know, the other thing I get is that maybe someone does something cute. Like, I remember I used to love, actually, I dressed up for Halloween. I dressed up yesterday on Friday, and I'm going to dress up again tomorrow in the same costume so I can use it twice as Detective Pikachu. And it was so cute. I have lightning bolt earrings. And what it is the lightning bolt is not two piercings, it's one piercing, but it kind of, the way that the lightning bolt does is it goes up my ear, and I think they call them crawlers or clips. You know, so again, this person doesn't have to have a million piercings. It's just something noticeable in the way that they use the holes that they got. And what you got is, it says air sign. So this situation involves an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, with bad habits, suffering from toxic addictions, traits, mindsets, or behaviors. So I do think that this is someone that you know. It would be someone that you kind of know has a bad habit. Um, yeah, you know, that's interesting. But yeah, guys, but that's who's haunting you. This person doesn't necessarily have to be in your weekly energy. They might not be around. They could be at a distance, but this person is either on your mind, or you're on their mind, or they're thinking about you and, you know, kind of hovering around. All right, so that's deck number 2. Let me check my battery. All right, this is fun, guys. I'm glad we did it this way, just because I really couldn't kick out 2 videos. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be lazy. I'm not lazy. I work, but it's like, all right. So deck number 3, the Morgan Greer, and with the sea glass. Let's go ahead and see deck number 3. What's your energy for the week? Okay, this one. Oh, here it is. Okay. Queen of Cups wanted to pop out, but we'll see. Okay, beginning of the week. Oh, no. Okay. Middle of the week. All right. End of the week. Oh my goodness. Can we get one clarifier? There's a lot of action here. Don't be afraid when we see the tower. Sometimes the tower can be a very cathartic, kind of cleansing energy. It clears the air. And definitely with the Knight of Rods, that clears the air. Can I get one clarifier for the... Thank you. This is popping out too. And the World. Queen of Swords, Page of Rods. Okay. Victory. All right. I'm definitely getting a victory vibe from this. I know we're seeing a lot of conflict, but sometimes when I see, especially in this deck, and this is my beloved deck, Morgan Greer is the tarot that I officially learned tarot on. It's my second deck, but it's the deck that I actually learned. I didn't learn on a Rider-Waite-Smith. I learned on a Morgan Greer. But so this deck speaks to me. But anytime it's so funny. Anytime I see, especially this Five of Wands, and we'll get into it. I always call it the pissing contest card because it's a little bit of who has the bigger stick. So it's conflict, but it's a little bit more in that petty kind of like sibling, let me hit you over the head kind of stuff. But we'll see. It can be adult and work related as well. All right, so who is haunting you? Let's get two of our cards. And all of the decks are listed in the description box. I'm going to have to go ahead and add the 3 new decks because they are brand new. So, but I got to put those on my list. I have a Word doc that has all of these so I can copy and paste as I'm the timestamps and all of everything else I manually type. All right, you guys don't need to know this. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Sorry, guys. Oh, Lordy. Thank you for stopping by my channel, and thank you for stopping by to listen to me ramble. All right, who is haunting deck number 3? And again, this can be a living person. Can be a living person. All right, and one more card, please. One more card, please. And again, this can be someone who's just on your mind, who's thinking of you, that's on your mind, or someone that is really hovering around you, in cyberspace, on your socials, in real life, nothing stalkerish, just who's on your mind. Okay, we got 3 here because this one was poking out, so we're going to go with that. This deck likes to slide. I'm just going to double check to make sure pile number 2 it really slid, and I'm just going to make sure I didn't lose something under my dresser. Oh my god. All right. And here under the teacup deck, under our beautiful piece of amber, let's go ahead and we're going to get 2 cards because all the other decks got 2, and we are an equal opportunity tarot channel. We do things the fair way. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. Ooh, I'm going to go with that one. All right. All right. I really love these decks. They're so fun. And honestly, please feel free to check out both of the makers of these decks are on Etsy, and I am really loving, first off, the quality of the cards are really, really nice, and I love the messages. The messages are really nice. And, sometimes, card makers are so creative with it. Sometimes it's a tough call because in the thumbnail images, you only see like a few of the cards. So, but I've been very impressed by all the cards in this deck, and the other deck from Rising Sun Oracle was amazing as well. So, but all right, pile number 3. So beginning of the week, I am getting a strong sense that I'm hearing shit has hit the fan. I'm hearing something's going down. Something's going on. But the funny thing is, I'm not getting the sense like you're experiencing this tower firsthand. Okay, I'm going to read this a couple of ways because we do have quite a few readers, and these images are interpretable. Now, if you are a mom or a parent, you might have a teenager or a young adult, like early 20s, fire child. Doesn't have to be a sun sign fire child, but someone who's got a lot of gumption, someone who's got a lot of fire, like a fiery personality, or a strong Mars placement. If you have a child with Mars and Scorpio, you have my sympathy because that's really tough. They're great kids, but good Lord, don't ever cross them because that becomes, it's drama, just total drama. But you might have a child who's kind of got something stirred up. It could be like a stir up with their friends. It can be a stir up with school or something going on. And you just might be kind of in the middle of the backlash of it. The other thing is that maybe you're kind of fighting with a child. The one thing I see with this is that sometimes, remember how I said the tower kind of clears the air? When something's not working, when something is built on a faulty foundation, the only way to get that like hard reset, like a reboot of a computer, the only way to get it freaking working is to let everything fall down into a heap of smoking cinders, let it cool, and then build it back up stronger. So this could be, if you are having a fight, and especially with this age group, this could be you fighting with a child. And first off, when fire signs or fiery personalities get into their late teens, early 20s, they definitely think they know everything. And I don't mean to stereotype with that. Of course, every person is different, but sometimes, what is it? There's this saying, there's this meme that says, oh, when I'm 7, I want to do things by myself. When I'm 10, I know everything. When I'm 20, mom knows nothing. Right? You always hit a phase where you feel like your parents don't know what they're talking about, shouldn't be able to tell you how to do anything, and there's a lot of butting heads, right? It's those teenage years, it's those trying years, those it's funny in photography, on a micrological level, when you're developing film, there's an abrasion process. It's almost like the agitation cycle on a washer. It's like when you're really knocking the rough edges off each other. So you're smoothing each other out. But there's always a stage. There's always a stage with children, and especially fire signs, just because fire signs, and again, doesn't have to be sun. They could have it anywhere, or they could just have like strong Mars or sun placements that just make them headstrong, make them think, okay, jump first, think later. And if I call it the Wile E. Coyote effect. And my older niece is Sagittarius. We we definitely see it. She's a bright, wonderful, energetic child, but sometimes we see her jump off the cliff and fall down the canyon, make that little outline on the ground, and we try to make it where she doesn't do that, to help her, that she doesn't fall. But here I'm kind of seeing the Wile E. Coyote effect. The other thing I kind of get is that maybe you are butting heads or hashing out with someone, but what it is this person is kind of treating you like, oh, you don't know anything, and all you can do is let the tower fall. You got to step aside and let them go Wile E. Coyote themselves. And when they come back, with the acne bandages all over their body, you can be like, okay, who was right? Because at some point they do come back and say, oh, okay, mom was right. Why didn't I listen to mom? Or why didn't I listen to dad? Or, but so it can be that. It can be you kind of having tower moments, or definitely I'm getting butting heads. The other thing is the Knight of Rods is definitely the in and out kid. So this can be, what I almost get with this combination is, how like you butt heads like rams. If it's an Aries child, oh, it's like rams. Two rams with those, that they. What happens is that it flares up and then it dies down, then it flares up and then it dies down. But sometimes, when that you don't know, you almost have a flinch response, like you don't know when the next fight is coming. But here I kind of get like this was a clear the air kind of fight. Now, if this is not your energy and it doesn't involve any young adults or young children, the other thing I kind of get from this is that it's possible that it might not involve you at all, but if you're the mom, it might involve you because they're having fights with other friends. And in today's culture, especially in this age group, there is cancel culture, there is cyberbullying, and it could actually be in-person bullying. And this is starting over the weekend. And we do have Halloween. We have Halloween parties, Saturday night, Sunday night. So there might be, and there's actually quite a few big world events that have a deadline of Monday. So that could be it as well. Speaking of which, good bridge is that if it's, work related or something world event related, November 1st is kind of a deadline for things. So you might be in the Knight of Rods energy where you're ready to take action. You're ready to let the tower fall. You're ready to, let the lightning strike. So there might be something going on, that's really, burning it down. What I'm hearing? I'm hearing that song lyric from the Taylor Swift song, "Burning It down. Somewhere in hindsight, staying with you all night. I will find the name of that song and I will post it underneath this, but it is kind of like that. Burning it down is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that lyric of that Taylor Swift song. Now, the last way I can kind of read it is you might have sometimes some kind of event is occurring and you might not know what's going on. This might be happening to someone else, and that's what I'm really getting. I'm almost getting, and nights carry messages. So someone might be coming in, with their tail feathers on fire to tell you about some kind of tower moment that's occurring with them. I do think that if it doesn't necessarily have to be like an early 20s person. It could be someone who's your age, but they're coming in with the energy of the night. Like they're almost riding in again with their, Mach 5 with their hair on fire. Like, and what I'm almost getting is this person, the one thing I do get from this is that this person might have been in and out of your life. Like it might be a total surprise that they're riding in. Like you're like, okay, where did you come from? Spontaneous. But what they're doing is they're telling you about this tower moment that's occurring to them. And it might be relevant because by the middle of the week, we got the world. This Knight of Rods might need to come in and tell you about something that they did or something that's happening to them, something that's crumbling, and it might affect their relationship with you. I feel like it's primarily affecting them, but you need to know. And it might involve you in some way. I'm almost getting like a sense, like, how when something happens and somehow you know the people involved, like, I'm sorry, I know this makes no freaking sense. You know how, like, when someone calls you, someone's been real quiet, you haven't heard from them for a while, but you know this person, you know how they are. They come riding in and they're like, okay, I need to let you know about something that's going on. And you're like, oh, crap. And I'm really curious what your tea is, because we need to spill the tea on this. This is crazy. I mean, again, who's haunting you might not be this person. I think it is, though. But this person's going to be writing in and being like, okay, look, I need to let you know about a tower moment that I'm having. If you hear about it, and it's almost like the other thing about the Knight of Rods is that they speak their truth. They are reckless, they are impulsive, they're not a king, not a king yet. That's, you get to be a king by doing all the knightly crazy shit. But this person is going to be writing in and telling you about a tower moment. I think the tower is mostly affecting them, but they don't, I almost get the sense like they don't want you to think bad about them. They want to give you the true story. They want to give their side of the story. Now, their side of the story is not going to be totally flattering. They were part of the tower, right? They built that foundation too. But I am almost getting like this is either a young adult, but I am getting like this is sudden news. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. You know what I'm almost getting, guys, is that you've been out of the loop. Like the other hand has been getting the coin. The other person has been getting the information. Now something's hitting the fan, and this person is being fair to you and telling you what's going on. I don't know if this tower would affect you at all. I'm getting the sense like this person just wants to set this. I'm hearing set the record straight. Set the record straight. They just want to give you the truth because this tower's crumbling. The other thing is that they feel like it's owed to you. You deserve the truth. That's what I keep hearing. Oh my goodness, where's this coming from? You deserve the truth. And then this is interesting, guys. By the middle of the week, you got the world, which is a lot of fixed signs. I always say this with the world. These are the in astrology, mutables, which are the communication signs like Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius. They're the communicators. The leaders, the cardinal signs, are the Libra, Capricorn, Cancer. Missing one. Aries. Sorry, Aries. And then the fixed signs are the get it doners. Like anybody who has a lot of fixed in their chart, they don't talk about it. They don't come up with a bunch of ideas that they don't follow through with. They follow through. They get shit done. And here we've got the world. And here you have the water bearer, which is Aquarius. You got the eagle, which is Scorpio. You got the bull, which is Taurus, and you got the Leo. An eagle is the evolved, you've heard of having an eagle eye. That's almost the evolved variation of Scorpio energy. It's like a falcon. But by the middle of the week, that's beautiful energy. Something is coming to a conclusion, and it's coming to a conclusion really, really quickly. It could involve this person, or again, if this is your energy, you're leveling things out. If some situation needs to crash down, you're letting it crash down, and you're settling the scores. What I'm hearing, you're settling. You're not cashing out. What's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like you're paying what you need to pay. You know how when something hits the fan, if something dissolves, if a relationship dissolves, if your company goes bankrupt, or if you close, or if you go out of business, you divvy up, you settle. It could be sudden, but whatever happens, the score, if you owe somebody something, they get the money, and then you're letting it fall. And then by the middle of the week, it feels, again, it's the end of a cycle, and you're ready to charge forward. Again, it's like, with the light and dark horses, it's like, okay, the good of this situation, the bad of this situation, we're just going to throw a bridle on both of them, and we're going to keep going forward, right? We're going to keep going forward. We're not going to worry about, it's onward. Just onward, And these are two majors. So by the middle of the week, and I know for a weekly energy, the other thing I'm kind of getting here is that this might feel like really like a relief, like a weight has been taken off you, right? The other thing I get is with the Knight here, I get the sense like you can kind of feel like free. You can kind of feel free. Now, one other thing is that if there is still like things owed, or, like payments involved, you're willing, it's like you're not letting anything hold you in place. You're not letting anything hold you back. You're ready to close out this cycle. You're ready to be done with this. I just want one more card, just one clarifier for the type of energy. Oh, the Lovers. The Lovers is, you've got a lot of duality here. The Lovers is a Gemini card, and it usually talks about a choice. And then the Cancer card here, the other thing I kind of get is that this might be the conclusion of something that started, or might have come to an apex, like some situation that started at the end of June into July of this year, 2021, or some situation that started in the Gemini and Cancer season, and it could involve a lover. It could involve, I'm seeing a lot of evidence here that someone wants to come forward and make some kind of, if you're a woman watching this, somebody really wants to come forward and make some kind of stable offer to you, but they were not able to do that in the past. And this person might be rushing in a little haphazardly, because they don't want, it's almost like there's some kind of news, whatever was holding them back, whatever, they had some kind of, they owed something to someone else, and that was kind of holding them back. And all of a sudden that situation is kind of going up in flames. It is going to free this person. And you might be hearing news of it at the beginning of the week. This person might be rushing in and be like, okay, whatever you hear about me, I'm sorry, have you ever watched the movie Cars? You know how when Mater runs up to Lightning McQueen and he's like, if anybody asks, we were out smashing mailboxes, okay? I don't think this person's asking you to cover for them, but I think this person's just saying, look, you're about to get wind of something that's pretty crazy, just hear me out. I owe you the truth. The other thing is that they might have owed somebody some kind of money. And by the middle of the week, it's like a closeout of a cycle. Now, this could be the closeout of a relationship. This could potentially be, like finalizing some kind of home, because we're getting like the King of Pentacles and the Lovers. Now, just one other way I can kind of read this, you might be getting wind of somebody who is buying a home, or someone who's moving forward financially with somebody, like someone who's making it official, like someone, is moving forward with someone. I do feel like these energies are together, like they're related. One other way I can read it is if there has been some kind of turmoil with a young adult, maybe you're finally clearing the air with this. Like, okay, I'm gonna finish paying for this semester of college. After that, you're on your own, and by the middle of the week, this energy can be, like if your spouse is a King of Pentacles, if your husband is a earth sign, or someone who's very practical with money, it's almost like you're closing out a cycle, and you're feeling really connected to your spouse, and you're moving forward with your regular life. You feel like the situation is finally closing out, finally finishing up. One other way I can read this is this could be a real show of support. If this is you, if you had something going on in the beginning of the week, you might have someone who's really there for you financially. And I do get the feeling like it's a love interest. And this person's just ready to make a new start. That's what I'm getting, like make a new start, just keep moving forward. I also get the sense that this person would be really there to financially support you. And I'm not getting like a parent energy, I'm getting more of a spouse energy. So assign the genders as they resonate. Now, by the end of the week, this is really interesting. We've got the Five of Wands, which is really like a conflict card. I said in the beginning it's a little bit of a pissing contest card. It's like, okay, this is more like petty conflict because it's a minor. I always think of it more of like irritating kind of conflict, like it's nothing real serious. The Five of Wands is not going to ruin. The Five of Wands would maybe ruin your morning. It's not going to ruin your life. It's really more of, I almost get it like someone saying something, irritating to you, or, like, maybe your Friday is just really busy. You have folks like, if this energy is completely separate, you could, it could be just a really busy Friday where, you have a lot of demands being, barked at you, or you got a lot of work to do and you're not really getting a whole lot of help. What I'm always getting is I'm getting irritated in like that kind of sense where someone's saying something that really bothers you, just rubs you the wrong way. The other thing is that the Five of Wands can be competition, like someone who's purposely not being helpful because they want you to be at a disadvantage. Now it's interesting, underneath it, you've got the Nine of Pentacles and you've got the Page of Pentacles. And you know what I almost get? I almost get that if someone's trying to make you feel like, if someone's trying to be competition, or someone who's trying to, haggle with you, underneath the surface, that you're unruffled. You're unruffled. This might still get under your skin, but you're okay. And I almost get like financially. We have pentacles here, guys. We've got, like evening the scale in the beginning of the week. Then you have this King of Pentacles masculine who's bringing you stability. And then you're showing up as like the Nine of Pentacles, which is this regal lady. The other thing you've got is the Page of Pentacles here. So you're okay. Now, if you are a mom, this could be a younger child, and it's almost like by the end of the week, you and your child are okay. You can do all of this by yourself. You are okay. You're fine. But the other thing I get though is that maybe you know I always think of like what seemed like a Goliath what seemed like, sometimes when you get that competition, it tries to make you feel really small, but you're unfazed. You're unfazed. You're like, okay, no, I am okay. I've got enough. I am enough, and I'm going to keep going forward. I think you might have, I get the sense like on Friday, someone is going to say something that gets under your skin. Either that or someone is going to kind of, quietly kind of compete with you, but there is no competition. And if this is like money related, like if someone is, the other thing is Pentacles is about financial stability, like also physical stability, like, personal health, physical health, the money in your bank, whatever competition you have for that, you are okay. But it's still agitating because someone's still trying to like kind of get under your skin, or still trying to like, again, it's whose stick is longer, but I do almost get like that this kind of showing like almost like just an annoying Friday. But you're going to be unruffled by it. The other thing I get is that you're just going to do your thing. You're going to do your thing. The Nine of Pentacles, you see that she has the hawk on her hand. She knows how to control her emotions. She's not going to let anything petty, ruffle her feathers. She's just going to continue to go forward. The other thing I get is that you have your eye on the right things. You're not worried about little petty conflicts. The other thing I get is that you're going to be very composed. If someone does say something ignorant to you or emails you with something that seems, you're going to reply in a professional and a very mature way, and you're just going to keep going forward. You're going to keep going forward to expand on what gives you security. You're going to be very grounded. You're going to be very grounded. But that's beautiful, guys. And in the middle of the week, I do think that, I feel like you're moving forward. This does feel love related. It's almost like you're finishing up some kind of drama, and you're ready you're looking ahead. You're looking forward, and a little bit of that drama might be lingering. It could be separate events. This could be all work. But you're not going to let it get to you. The other thing is that you are secure. There's nothing that can take your money from you. There's nothing that can take your sense of self from you. So people can come up and try to rattle their sabers all they want. You're not going to engage. That's the other thing. You're not going to engage with that. You're not going to, if someone's being kind of, So let's see, pile 3. Who is haunting you? We've got Chatterbox. Oh gosh, this is a cute card. This could be someone who likes to talk a lot. Behaviors untrustworthy. Oh my goodness, untrustworthy. And look at that suit. And wears glasses. Wears glasses. Oh my goodness. You know what I almost get? If this is... It could be someone who really does wear glasses, but you know what? I'm almost getting kind of a feeling of someone who likes it when you wear glasses. I don't know where that's coming from. But the other thing I get is that when I hear chatterbox, it could be someone who kind of talks fast. Either that, or what I almost get with that is that, how sometimes there's very seasoned responses, like, when someone has gotten the same question before and they're real quick to reply, they just seem to know all the right things to say. And the 2 cards you got taking shortcuts, not doing your job well, not fulfilling commitments, lazy, causing more work for others. And broke. No money, can't pay bills, scraping up change to get by. Got you. Now, Chatterbox, there is another card in there that talks about someone who's talking crap about someone. So I don't think this is anyone who's talking trash. But I do think this might be someone who likes to talk, though. This might be a little bit of like, if this is work related, it might be water cooler kind of stuff. Something about that 5 of Wands is really playing into this. But yeah, it could be somebody who wears glasses. This person with the suit and the glasses, I almost get like a real kind of, again, a more kind of professional looking person. But what I'm getting is with taking shortcuts, There are definitely the type of people who like to cut corners. They're like, oh, okay, whatever gets me. The other thing I get is whatever gets me the money quickest. And but again, not it's someone who doesn't care about doing the job well. One other thing I kind of get with this combination too, guys, is that especially with the Page of Pentacles, oh, this is a new way to look at it. If you are a manager, or if this could be someone that you work with, but you know how sometimes Page of Pentacles is the slowest. The Pentacle suit is always the slowest moving, but they always do things the right way. Like they might move a little bit slower, but their cornerstones are solid. When they put down a Pentacle, it stays there. It earns money. It goes forward. So they might be slower, but what I'm almost getting is, what I'm getting is someone who's a good talker. Someone who's a good talker, but who doesn't walk the talk. The other thing that I get with this, and I'm sorry, this is almost coming out a little negative. This might be someone who likes to cut corners. Like you don't cut corners, but you take your time, but maybe you take longer to do things, and maybe you even try to tell somebody how to do things, but they don't listen. They rush. And then this person wants to compete with you, like, oh, well, I can do what pile 3 does faster, and they're not doing it better. They're not doing it the right way. They're just rushing. They might be trying to talk themselves up a little bit. One other way, and this isn't to knock anyone, but one indicator here is someone who might not have a whole lot of money. So what they might be doing is they might be competing a little bit because they want to do what you do. They might want to, they want to move up the ladder. The other thing I get from this is moving up the ladder quickly. This is someone who wants to jump steps in order to get the higher position, to get the more money, even though they might not be good at that position, or they might not do the job adequately. I am getting a little bit of a work vibe from this. I don't know if it's the suit that's throwing me off. This could be someone personal as well. It could be this could totally be someone personal. But what I get with Chatterbox is one other indicator, and I think this you would know definitely, might be someone who is short on money, someone who likes to rush or cut corners. Someone who's a good talker, sounds real smooth, sounds like they know what they're doing, and they might wear glasses. But what I get with Chatterbox, and believe me, I watch myself with this as well, because I talk a lot. But Chatterbox, I always get. There's actually there's also a great. It's more dating related, but it pertains to regular relationships too. There's something called being in the blue. You know how when you're texting someone and your texts show up in blue, and the other person's kind of show up in gray or whatever. What happens is there's something called being in the blue, which means that if somebody says, "Hey, how's it going?" and then it's one little line of gray, and then you have 4 texts back. If you scroll through your feed, and you see that you are in the blue, like you're giving these big chunks of blue responses when this person is only this person is only giving you 1 line intro, you might be talking too much. And it's okay. I'm not dissing anyone with that. Everyone has chatty times. So if there's just a few conversations where you're in a chatty mood, that's completely fine. That's normal. That's human. But if it's every single conversation, the other thing is it's always polite to kind of feel out the other person. Goodness knows all of us have our down days. Maybe we had a really rough day at work. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we didn't get dinner yet. We're just a little moody. If this person is just sending you a 1-line thing, it's always good. They call it matching. Like if one person says, "Hey, what's up?" and then you reply, "Hey, nothing much. How are you?" If you keep it, and then of course as the conversation goes, if the other person starts talking more, you can start talking more. But if the other person kind of keeps it in that quiet, they might be tired, they might have something going on, so don't get in the blue with them. The other thing is the same thing with getting on the phone. I don't think, I'm Gen X where I don't mind phone calls. I actually like phone calls. I like hearing someone's voice, even if it's not I don't even you know, like doing the video calls so much. I like hearing people's voices, but if you talk a lot, this also might be someone who talks a lot on the phone. Like when they get on the phone, they might go into long laments, or they might drag out a point. And again, it's not bad. This is just an indicator that you would know who that person is. But I hope that helps pile 3, and that is the person who's haunting you. So that's either the person who's on your mind, or that you can't stop thinking about, or this person is thinking about you or hovering around you, you know, either in thought or in real life. But, you know, again, nothing creepy, you know, nothing otherworldly. This does not need to be someone who's crossed over. This could be a real person that's just around. But all right, guys, so that was fun. I'm glad we went with the extra cards. And again, you know, I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope you have a good, safe Halloween. You know, if you go trick-or-treating, please be safe. Please wear a mask. Please do your due diligence to keep, you know, to be safe and healthy and happy and warm. Wear a coat, you know, soul symbols, mama thing, wear a coat. And I will, I promised you last week, I did dress up as Detective Pikachu. It was a lot of fun. It was really cute. And all it was a sweatshirt with a big Pikachu on it. And then I had this great deer stalker cap and magnifying glass and really neon yellow makeup and lightning bolt earrings. So it was a lot of fun, and people knew who I was, so that was great. And you know, I love coffee, so actually Halloween is tomorrow. I'm going to be donning the costume again, and I'm going to be walking into my favorite coffee shop. All of my baristas know me, and we're going to have some fun with that. So, you know, with our masks, with our coats, and all that good stuff. But I hope you have a great weekend and a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.